Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. This is Voice of Reason in case you didn't know. And thanks for joining me. 2026, second segment, first quarter. It's very important that the start of the year, you have the most energy. Especially if there's shit you got to get done. Especially if there's a lot of cleaning up to do. So I would take advantage of the top of the year to just have the right energy, a lot of it, to start to like push you towards what you got to do. If you can use that. I'm not, you should be on that all the time, 365. But I'm just saying the top of the year, for some reason, should give new energy to it. For example, no funny shit. My mentor in music, clearly he's been doing music longer. I got a good 20 years of music. He probably got like 10 plus more than that. So I'm repping him today. Shout out A and Jesus. It's A and G. A couple of things got me started, but I really must say he's one of the main influences that started me and the writing and the lyrics and all of that. I know it's dramatic. I know, whatever. I got to give flowers sometimes. So shout out to A and G. Far as first quarter and having good energy, I'm already exercising that. Because one, me and A, the new mixtape is out, A Greater Noise 2, on all streaming platforms. You got A Greater Noise 2.
Only go get the cash. Money first, bitches last. Quick to blast, swift and fast. Play me, then I'm on your body like the glitter on a stripper's ass. Charming, hoes love.
And you got my single off the Slow Emotion LP, Were You Ever Down?
Who we fooling here? What we doing here? Let's end it before it escalates like moving stairs. This probably wasn't the play in the first place, but you sent chills through me when I reached first base. Took a month to hit a home run, then a couple more months to build a home front. This shit was too quick to show longevity, but I had to go through that to be this better me.
Advantage at the top of the year, you know what I mean? So that's how we doing. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, Voice of Reason NF. That's Tell It How You Is. Tell It How It Is. At Voice of Reason NF. Comment, share, like, hit the notification bell. That's always the thing to do. All right, let's go right in. The American Black community is the most complicated. Other cultures resemble fair game. A couple of people came to me. I noticed this as well. This could be, you can always challenge it and say it's coincidental or it's rare or it's just, what I saw don't make it whole or whatever people see. That's not the whole world's view. There's always a way to challenge a statement, right? But what this is meaning is we difficult, man. Black men are so competitive, jealous, and this is a negative. Against other black men, we kill each other the most, reportedly, allegedly. The black family, woman and man, it always seems toxic. There's always some drama. It's always messy. When I use the word always, I don't mean it. I'm just saying we see it too much. I'm saying always to get your attention that it still happens too much, even if it ain't always. So look at those two are right there. Black men versus black man, then the black woman versus the black man, especially when it comes to that court system and all that, but we're not going to go there. But although this happens, you'll say in other cultures, no matter what it is, me and a few colleagues feel at least, I think there's a good foot forward in other cultures. So, for example, I give you a live one and you take it from there. I'm in the gym, right? Spanish couple. And no offense, I'm telling you, I'm describing the scene. No offense to either person. The Spanish chick looked like she'd been going to the gym. She good money to me. I mean, I don't mean you stop. There's no end date to the gym if you're a gym person, but she's definitely where she need to be. And she should just be coasting right now. Her man looked like he a Shake Shack burger away from a heart attack. You don't know how they grew up, how they know each other. Again, it's not to knock them. Love is love. But I just feel like when you have the Spanish culture, Haitian, you could say West Indian, Russian, African. I just feel like, and African is black, and Spanish is considered black, right? But I'm just saying culture-wise, that's why I said American black. I feel like these cultures, they kind of stick together, right? I mean, it could still be toxic, not healthy, and not happy. But I feel like they stick together more than we do. You know, can I just grab your attention on that? Even if that's not fully true and you disagree. I feel like we have the most drama, the light is shined on us the most from when we do dumb shit, fuck shit, toxic shit. So that's all we pointing out right here. I feel like the other cultures at least keep the tuck a little. And again, you'll see, I feel like some people just be together because they both that. Like they either both Spanish, they both African, they both Haitian, they can relate. That's like a confident, in common thing that they have. So maybe that's why it appears that way. But it's just bugged out. You know, I don't want to really give up the other examples, you know, people that was talking to me about it. They say, you don't leave it off for there, but just, you know, they agree with me. And my example alone is similar to some of their examples. So we just leave that there. But come on, American black. Pay attention. Again, it's the top of the year. We could make some changes right now. Let's stop being negative against each other first. Let's see if we can actually get along. We can actually turn the cheek. Me included. Perfect example of how I'm going to clean up. But then I kind of went back. I resorted back. I'm at work, certain location. I go to a certain store. Black man begging for bread. You know, I have a problem with that if they have all their limbs. If they walking like me and they look sturdy, you could go do something. I mean, I know. Voice of reason, understand their struggle. If all your limbs working, you look sturdy, you can be doing something besides begging. That's just how I feel. I don't care. Either way, in that moment, I probably ain't give no person that asks for money and I don't know how long. So I gave that person $1. Same day, hours later, I'm in another store. I'm in the ATM. The fucking guy is watching my every move. I'm at work. I can't wild out. There's some street code shit that people just don't be paying attention to. I go in the store, go to the ATM, I feel homie's eyes. Not like on some robbery shit. I don't feel like you never know. That's why you gotta pay attention. I don't feel like it was a robbery attempt. I felt like that's thirst. Like, okay, he taking bread out. I'm about to ask him for bread. Anyway, I take a few dollars out of the ATM. I make my purchase. This guy's watching the entire thing. Like, YouTube. This is YouTube. But I'm irritable. I'm like, yo, don't get knocked out and now I'm on the news. Whatever. The guy gives me my change. I go to leave. The same watcher runs to open the door for me. Can you give me something to eat? I ain't even school him. Like, I just kept it moving because, like, I was drained. Because if I'd have spoke to him, he wouldn't have liked that. But, like, because, yo, my man, that's not how you go about that. You see, the guy I gave bread to earlier, he wasn't polished either, but he was smoother about his shit. You looking like a fiend. You about to get dropped. You don't be watching people move and letting them catch you watch them. Just that ATM move alone, I'm going off the subject here. We, the American black community, must try to do better. Black man that's begging out there for bread, and you got all your limbs and you look sturdy enough to be working. I know that probably is hard to get hired, but you got to use your brain and do a little better. And in due time, I'm not going to time you. But the rest of us that's jealous of each other and bump heads with each other for no reason but money or chicks is sad. And then you bumping heads over a chick, let's say that's the example, and you don't even get along with the chick. Like, we bump heads with our fellow black sister more, probably. So all of us need a wake-up call. My sisters, a wake-up call. Stop being in your masculine too much and talking down to men or thinking, because you got to work and the bills may be 50-50 or you a single mom, you want to talk crazy sometimes. Like, you got to tuck that, man. We got to get back to unity. Unity. If we were really to tuck this and be our best selves and really support each other, the shift that would cause? I'm off that. Huh. This one, that's what I'm smiling. This one is crazy. Does Voice of Reason bash women on his platform? I know y'all couldn't wait for this one. Y'all probably like, how you gonna answer that? Easy. Yes. Depending on how much you tune in, how much you seen, you might could say that's what it appears or sounds like. You gotta have a lengthy receipt book. You can't say this and you saw 2 segments, 3 segments, 5. No, you had to, I'm not going to tell you a number, but you can't be 5. As long as I've been doing this 5 to 10, unless you want to talk about, you're going to say that just about the last 5. But anyway, there is some examples showing that. Sometimes when I'm on a certain topic, I may insert personal feelings. I'm human. Plus, this is my platform. I could do that. But that's not the overall goal. That's not what I want you to take from this. That it's about that. Women may view it that way, but for men, they're just learning how to be more cautious and pay attention more before they jump the gun. And that's mainly the reason I cover what I cover on here and talk the way I talk. Because I got. A lot of us could say they got. And if we could school a youth them to not get got, you got to have, you know what I mean? Examples and scenarios and uplifting as a combination to try to get our younger men to avoid the drama and having to bash them. So yeah, come off like that. It does. Hey, new year, first quarter. My last episode, which was the first one for the year, I don't feel I bashed. Can we go back? I got receipts. Let's do. What was the last joint? Nothing wrong if you really I think it's this. Right. I had it. Hold on. Stay with me, y'all. Let's do our research here. In this episode, the more social media access, fellas, the more lusty you become. What are your New Year's goals? Same old, but execute this time. Some things and people may never change. More low-hanging fruit have standards now, so acquiring women just for sex may be tougher than ever. You have to spend or provide something. Can men really try celibacy? Ladies, you getting financial free and faithful? So those are just questions. Like, I don't feel like in the conversation I had on that segment that I did any bashing. Again, I understand how it comes off like that. When I talk from a male's perspective, is because that's what I am. So because I'm not a female, y'all may say, okay, we don't expect you to like always rep us, but don't try to tear us down. And I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling the guys some life experiences and what you could expect out there when interacting, and you know, stuff like that. But I don't paint too much dark pictures, I don't think. But that's, you know, I'm not gonna stay there long because I know I probably need a guest or somebody to come really give me that question for real. But I'm not gonna say I don't, but I don't think it's a thing. I think it's just more of my honesty and how I feel, and you may think it comes across that way. No. All right. You can't strong arm the process. Your game plan doesn't necessarily mean control time, or that you can control the time. We are, as a whole, very impatient these days. Very. So, all walks of life. So there's people who's impatient that don't even got anything going on. May not have some actual shit in play. They might be thinking they're going to create it. They're impatient as well. But we're not going to talk about them. People who are really accessing a plan and trying to execute, and let's say you're going off of what I just said, the top of the year, first quarter, you on it. There's so much about your life and how you did things that you may have to answer to that before the karma after having a game plan and thinking you're going to get your shit rolling. But the process is the process. That's all. We have no say. But how real is that, though? We get so impatient because we think we got it. I'm repeating it because I've been there so many times. I was actually reminiscing this for a second right there about having things a lot more organized than usual, and yet the process is still the same, as slow as it was, or slower. You got to just keep doing it. That's pretty good. What destroys a relationship nowadays more than cheating? All right. What destroys a relationship nowadays more than cheating? I jotted down a few things. No communication, not enough sex, not enough spontaneous, and people playing people face. So the no communication is a little bit dragging it. We don't mean none, but the communication section sucks. You know, nobody's really telling what they feel, or only one person's telling what they feel very consistently, but the other person doesn't get to express. And you know what? I could challenge that and say that that's not always a bad thing, but it can't be the majority of how y'all handle stuff, right? So that's one. Not enough sex. Women to say, who doesn't have enough? I left it open so both men and women can say the same about that. But life is lifing, especially if both partners got to work. Like, when are you going to get it in? but it's still a thing. So that's another. Not enough spontaneous, meaning just getting up and going on a date, or whichever partner's home, spice up the bedroom, or maybe get a costume. Like, switch it up. Make this shit exciting. You don't want people sitting around getting used to the normal, regular, degular, and they start getting comfy, and then murder, she wrote. And the playing in people's face. So people be knowing their motive. People be knowing what they want. They tippy-toe and dance around it and behave in this way that screams the opposite of what they know their motive is, and getting themselves jammed up. So instead of playing in somebody's face, just be like, nah, I'm good. Because you always have that out. Don't feel trapped. So that's real. So the next time, you know my 3 Ps. Stay positive, stay pushing, and stay progressive. Peace.